Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to day one of Lean Six Sigma Black Belt Certification Hackathon. And as I communicated yesterday, this is a very important session, so not to be missed by anybody, even though you are new in the system. So this is going to be a 3-day session starting from today. And what we cover in Black Belt Hackathon is we don't cover any green belt topics in this hackathon. We only cover exclusive Black Belt content. And if you see the black belt content in bracket of every section, it is mentioned clearly that this particular section is exclusive black belt content section. Okay. And if there is a common section of green belt and black belt, that is also mentioned. That means this part is covered in the green belt. For example, let me give you an example. The define phase, particularly define phase. Now, define phase is common across green belt and the black belt both. There is no change. The charter will remain same. SIPOC will remain same. The communication plan, stakeholder analysis, everything will remain exactly as it is. So it is common for green and black. So we are not covering those topics in the black belt hackathon. In black belt, what we cover is, which is exclusive the black belt content. And in that also, whatever is a little, difficult to understand or requires some practice. Okay. So those topics we are going to do, right? See, the objective of the hackathon is to push the people to complete the boundary line. Okay, because a lot of people take the admission and then they start the studying as well. Okay, but because after some time the life takes on and the priority of certification gets the back seat. Okay, just to make it again in the front seat and let them complete the course certification, which is one of the very important milestone in this. That's why we designed this hackathon system where, green belt as well as black belt hackathon we conduct. Okay. So how many of you have completed your green belt certification? Just type me in the chat box. Just give me a me in the chat. How many of you have completed your green belt certification and looking forward for the black belt certification? Just type me if you have. Okay. So quite a few people. All right. Super. Just a second. Okay. Super. So is my voice audible, right, to everybody? Anybody having any trouble? Just give me a confirmation in the chat quickly. Okay. Super. All right. Amazing. No problem. Thank you very much. Okay. So let's do one interesting thing. Let's start from something called CLT, which I'll explain you in the process. Can you just open any blank Minitab worksheet? Okay. I hope you guys have the Minitab with you. Okay. So if you have Minitab, please open Minitab. I will also open one Minitab file. Any Minitab file, blank file also will do. Yeah. Can you just open Minitab file? We'll do one exercise. Very important exercise, which there is a concept called CLT. We'll start from there and then we'll take it to the next level. Okay. Yeah, let's open the file. Once you have opened, let me know. Super. Any blank file. So any Minitab, just click on the Minitab software. It will open the blank sheet for you. Once you have opened, let me know. Let me also open this. Super. So I have opened one worksheet, but you can open any blank. Okay. Done. There is something called central limit theorem. We are going to learn from that central limit theorem. We are going to generate some data. So we are going to learn how do we generate data in Minitab. Then what is central limit theorem? Why normality is so important in this? Okay. So today we are going to cover that part of it. As I mentioned earlier, define phase remains common for green and black. So we are directly jumping into the major phase of black belt. Okay. Now, for the very new people, it might be a little, a little difficult to understand, but don't worry, I will make it very simple for you as well. Okay. Done, everybody opened? Give me some confirmation in the chat. If you are in a position, by the way. Okay, done. So once you open this, shall I wait for somebody? Because please let me know in the chat. If you are opening, in the process of opening, please let me know. And if you are behind, okay? So I will wait for you guys. So once you open the Minitab file, any Minitab file, I've just opened one. Okay, no problem. Blank sheet open kiya, that's it. That's it, what is expected. So what we are going to do first, we are going to generate some data. Okay. After that, we are going to convert that data into histograms, and we are going to see the shape, how the shape of the histogram changes as we increase the size of the sample. Okay. That is very, very important concept. So today we are going to do the transformation as well. So this is very, very important. Okay. Yeah. So slowly what we can do is go to calc, go to random data and normal. Once you open any blank worksheet, go to calc meaning calculator. Then go to random data, which is the third last option, which is a random data generation tab. And then go to normal because you want to generate normal distribution data. Okay. And click on normal. Now, number of rows you want to generate, let's make it 5. Let's make it 5 and store in the column. So I am storing in the column C4. Column 4, okay, because I have got couple of columns already filled up. So I'm just keeping one column blank, C3, and then I'm storing this in C4. That's it. I'm not doing anything else. Once I do that, just click on OK. So there are some random 5 numbers have been generated. Everybody got it? Just give me yes in the chat box. Narsimhaji, are you there with us? Go to calc. I'll just repeat the procedure. Go to calc, random data, normal. Calc, random data, normal. Once you click on normal, then just number of rows. That means how many rows data you want to generate. Okay, so first we will take 5. And in the column, if you are using a blank sheet, just say C1, which is the first one column 1. And click on OK. That's it. Don't do anything else. And there will be 5 numbers generated. Random data. It is completely random. All right. Let's repeat the same procedure. Now, while repeating the same procedure, you don't have to go to calc or random, etc. Just click on Control E, and you will come back on the same platform, that box again. Just press Control E. Now you generate 50 data points and store in the next column. Let's say I'm storing it in C5 column and say OK. So 50 data points will be generated by software. And once it is done, then repeat the procedure. Now, instead of 50, let's do it for 5,000. Let's make it 5,000 in the next column called C6, let's say. So you can give the name of the column accordingly, C1, C2, C3, okay? And say OK. So here, I'm just writing the column name 5, then 50, and then 5,000, so that we can remember. Everybody has generated this data. Just give me yes in the chat box. Just give me the confirmation. Same procedure. Only 550, 5,000. That's it. Just give me the confirmation. Anybody behind, please let me know. Yeah, Mr. Rao, are you there? Same procedure, repeat thrice. That's it. First 5, then 50, then 5,000. Yeah. If you want me to repeat again, please let me know. calc, random data, normal. ये है. And then you generate a data like this. Okay. Super. Now let's do one thing. Let's go to histogram. How do we go to histogram? Go to graph, and the fifth option is histogram. Fifth option is histogram. Column is different. It's okay. Because I have two columns, C1, C2 already filled up, no? So I'm using C4, C3. Columns कोई भी रहने दो, चलेगा. Okay, select histogram. Now select with fit. Select with fit histogram. Click on OK. Now in the graph variable, select all these three columns. Just double click on this. C4, C5, C6. In your, it will be C1, C2, C3. Select all the three. So it will create three histograms. Okay. And click on OK. Now you have got three different histograms got created. मैं इसको थोड़ा सा छोटा करता हूं so that it can be kept. All right. Yes, everybody got this? Just give me yes. See, your histogram could be different because your data generation is different than mine. So yours could be different. Okay. Now just give me the answer here. Okay. Now give me the answer. Is this first histogram, which is only 5 data points? Now everybody knows how the histogram is created. These are the frequency numbers. Okay. And let's say, for example, this is, let's say, frequency 1. So these two have come only once, and this is a frequency 3. So there are 5 data points. 3 data points are here in this column, and 1 here, 1 here. So this is what? That's why the histogram. Now tell me, is it normally distributed? Number 1, is it normally distributed? Just give me yes or no in the chat box. Let me draw. Yeah, it seems a skewed distribution. Yes or no? Correct. Seems a skewed, right? So on the left-hand side, we have more number of data points. The column height is very high, and which is coming down on the right-hand side. It's a right-hand side skewed distribution. Okay. Coming back to the second one. Now tell me, is it normal distribution? Give me yes or no in the chat box. Give me yes or no in the chat box. What is normal distribution? Symmetrical distribution. Mean, mode, median in the center. Okay, that is called actually the normal distribution, right? Now this one, second, this one, you cannot say perfectly normal hai ye, but it is better than the first one. Yes or no? It has started taking the normal distribution shape. And what about the third one? Is it normal distribution? Give me yes or no in the chat box. Yes, it is kind of a perfect normal distribution because we have increased the sample size to 5,000. So what does it indicate? So as we increase the number of sample size, the data start to take the normal distribution shape. Why it is called a normal? Because normally it happens like this. Understand this? So normally, naturally, it happens just like if we place some, let's say this is a remote control. If I drop the remote control from here, it will come down naturally by the law of gravity. Similar to law of gravity, there is a law called central limit. There is a theorem called central limit theorem. Central limit theorem. Okay. According to this theorem, as you increase the sample size of the data, it starts getting accumulated towards the center, more and more towards the center. Okay. and it normally takes the normal distribution bell-shaped size, where mean, mode, median is at the center. Okay, so whenever you come across any non-normal data, the first thing what we do is increase the sample size. Everybody understood the? Just type yes in the chat box. What we need to do is increase the sample size of it. Clear? Just give me yes in the chat box. Now, naturally, how many data points should we collect to at least get this normal distribution shape? The answer is 3030. Make a note of this. 3030. Okay. Yeah, Sonuji, did you see this entire process? What we have done here is we have generated 3 data points. Okay, like this. We have generated 5 numbers, random numbers. You joined late, right? Okay. So what we have done? So there is a normal, there is a data generation mechanism in Minitab, which is calc random data normal. Okay, if you want to generate data in normal distribution. So now there are other distributions as well. Okay, but we are generating normal because we are interested in normal data, right? Normal distribution data. Once we click on that, now here in this column we have to. So if let's say in the first thing we generated 5 data points, so I will put 5 here. Okay. And which column do you want to store the data? That column name. Column meaning C1, C2, column 1, column 2, column 3, like that. Okay. Because I had already 2 columns filled up data. So I just selected C6 column, C4 column. And the C4 column, these 5 data got generated. The same procedure I repeated for the next 2 columns. In the next column, I put 50 data points in this data point, in this column. And in the third column, I just put 5,000 data points. Okay. So first column 5, second column 50, third column 5,000. And then we made 3 histograms out of it. So how do we make 3 histograms? Just select histogram, graph, histogram, with fit. And we selected all. And once we click on that, so these 3 histograms got created. All right, like this. So this is the first histogram, which is looking a little non-normal distribution. Second histogram looks at least a little better than the before one. And the third histogram, which is this one, looks perfectly normal distribution, right? So what do we understand? As we increase the sample size, okay, so minimum sample size is 30. Okay, sometimes at 30 also, this 30 is the average number what statisticians are suggesting. But sometimes at 30 also we may not get the normal distribution. So increase the sample size, 30 ko 40 crore, 50 crore. Okay. So as we increase the sample size, we get the normal distribution naturally. It's a normal procedure. That's why it's called normal distribution. Clear? Super, super. And this theorem is called as CLT, central limit theorem. Just make a note of this. Yes, very good. Now let's do one thing. Let me share let me share a file with you guys, and we'll continue these exercises. Okay, if you have Minitab open, that will be great. That will make this experience more, unique. All right, so I'm just sharing the same file, which is the chocolate weight wala file, which a lot of times we use. Okay. Yeah, can you just download this file, please? This is the same file which basically I have opened earlier. Okay, this one, the chocolate weight wala file. Once you opened it, let me know in the chat. This file we use in almost every live session. So this is a common file. So if you have that, that would be downloaded in your download folder as well. Okay, multiple times. The name is process capability normal. Done, opened, just give me yes. Now what we do here is for this data, chocolate weight data, let's do a graphical and statistical analysis. Okay, how do we do that? Go to stat, basic statistics, graphical summary. Stat, basic statistics, graphical summary. See, I want you guys to play around with Minitab, okay? Please, we have a lot of data points. We have a lot of data files with us. So open data files and, just do some trial and errors on Minitab. That is the only best way of learning. Okay. So go to stat, basic statistics, graphical summary. And in the variable column, select chocolate weight. And click on OK. So even yesterday also, when we saw our box plot yesterday, so we had used this file, correct? Everybody got it? Just type yes in the chat box. Just give me a confirmation. Just give me yes. So I generally prefer this graphical summary because in the graphical summary, I get graph. See how many different. So on the left-hand side, we are getting graphs. On the right-hand side, we are getting stat. Okay. So graph, this is histogram, we all know, correct? We get bell-shaped curve. We get box plot here. Yesterday live session itself, we have seen box plot, right? Which is lowest value LV. This is quartile 1. This is quartile 2. This is quartile 3. And this is the highest value, HV. Correct? So this is the box plot. And this is 95% confidence interval. Okay. So for the mean. So this is the actual mean of the sample. And these are the two intervals for the population. That means the population mean will be in between these 2 points, will lie in between these 2 points. Okay. Coming back to this. Now, let me ask you a question because most of you have been through the green belt curriculum, right? So what is the first one? This test is for, the name itself suggests, AD test, AD Anderson-Darling normality test, which is basically if the p-value is greater than 0.05, the data is normally distributed. It's a statistical confirmation. Except meaning we declare that this data is normally distributed. Correct? Then we have mean, standard deviation, variance, skewness, kurtosis. Now, skewness, kurtosis are the shape measurements of the distribution. Skewness kya hai? Now, if the skewness is what you can say 0, 0, that is called as perfect normal distribution, which generally never happens. Okay, even though it is normal distribution, there is some skewness is there, some skewness. Now, if the skewness is a little positive, you can see a little positive skewness. That means this is a little positively skewed data. Little positively skewed, even though it comes in the normal category, but a little positive skewness is there. If the skewness is 0.00, that means your data is perfect normal. There is no skewness at all. What is skewness? If let's say this is a normal distribution, exactly symmetrical, right? Skewness is this. It is tilted on one side. That is called skewness. Okay. Then the next one is called kurtosis. What is kurtosis? Kurtosis basically is what is your what you can say, normal distribution curve, how much pickedness is there? Meaning, for example, is the distribution curve flatter or the distribution curve is picked like this? See, both are normal distribution, but this will have a positive kurtosis and this will have a little negative kurtosis. Okay, so as the pickedness grows up, as the the data will come like this, will become like this. See, that is also normal distribution, but then the kurtosis number will become a little positive. Okay, then n is equal to number of data points. 120 data points are there. N is equal to 120. Then minimum value, quartile 1, quartile 2, quartile 3, and maximum value. This is what we have done in the box plot. Correct? And 95% confidence interval means, that's what I said. So the current mean is this. Current mean is this, right? So see, this is called, understand this. Let me just, so this is descriptive statistics. This is all called descriptive statistics. Okay. Everybody knows descriptive statistics, yes or no? This is about the sample. And this is about the population. This is called as inferential statistics. Okay. Now, in the first half of it, we are talking about mean, mode, median, variance, standard deviation of the sample. In the later half, which is the later last part of it, which says 95% confidence interval of mean. That means what? See, current mean is 42.16 of the sample. Okay. So from that sample, we can predict that the mean of the population will lie between 41.808 to 42.403, in between these 2 points. Same goes with median. So median is 42.1 for the sample, right? So what about the population? So with 95% confidence, we can say that the median of the population will be between 41.58 to 42.32. Same goes with standard deviation. So standard deviation is 1.645 for the sample. So with 95% confidence, we can say the standard deviation of the population will be between 1.46 to 1.88. And that is what 95% confidence. And we have taken a couple of sessions, in the live session as well, how to calculate with the formula. Clear? Everybody has given me yes in the chat box. Clear hai? So you should be able to at least read what does that every digit means, basically. Clear? Super, super. Everybody got it? Just give me yes in the chat box. Anybody has any kind of doubt, please let me know. Let me show you another way of doing this. Okay, in the same basic statistics, there is something called display descriptive statistics. Okay. So this also you can use where there will not be any graphical data will be there, only descriptive statistics will be there. Okay, so if you click on that, then select the chocolate weight sample in the variable column and go to statistics. Okay, see, you can select graphs as well. In graphs, you can get histogram, individual value plot, data plot. आप कर सकते हो. Let's go to statistic. Here, by default, these statistics are there. Okay. Now, in the master black belt level, majority of these statistics we have already covered. Majority of the statistics. Okay. For example, let's say standard error of mean. What is standard error of mean? Standard error of mean is just for your understanding. Okay. the formula for standard AC mean? What is the formula? The formula is standard deviation divided by square root of n. Okay. So, which basically is the natural variation of the data, which indicates. Okay. Now, there is something called, see, there are very simple things. Like, for example, trimmed mean. What is trimmed mean? Sometimes what happens, see, there are some outliers. So trimmed mean, if I select trimmed mean, it will chop off the outlier of the data and only consider the data which is there, the natural variation data which is there. Extreme outliers will be chopped off. Okay. So just like when we go for the trimming now, trimming our hair, right? We extra grown hair we basically cut. Similarly, extra what you can say, outliers are cut in the trim mean. So this way you can actually check that other statistics as well over here. Okay. So if you select all, let's select all and just click on OK. You will get all the statistics in this format. Okay, descriptive statistics format. All right. Now let me give you an amazing hack. Okay, let me give you amazing hack of this. Let me copy this. Okay. And you guys also can do this. Okay. This is also amazing hack which you should follow. And I'm just going to ChatGPT. What I've done, I've just copied the data from there. I'm going to ChatGPT right now. I'm pasting the data. All right, here we have pasted the data. Now, please explain the above stats. And GPT will explain to you each and every parameter like this. Super. You can see here. What is trimmed means? Can you see here? Standard error of mean. So shows the precision of the mean. The smaller value, that means it is more reliable. Trimmed mean. Mean after removing extreme 5% of the data. Can you see? So extreme 5% value. So you can understand it. See, this is how I would like you guys to explore the things now. Go deeper into the, see, as you go from yellow belt to green, green to black, black to master black, the topics might remain same. Okay, standard deviation for yellow belt, green belt, black belt, master belt will remain same. But in standard deviation, there are so many factors which are there. Now you should be able to understand that. Okay, so you can see here, quartile, mean, mode, median, all those things. We know this. Okay, great. Super. Let me just quickly, if possible, let me share this with you. Okay. देखता हूं कि मैं ये शेयर कर सकता हूं क्या. Okay, let me just check if I can share this with you guys. Okay. Yes. So I've just pasted the chat GPT ka pura ye. So you can just click on that and download it if possible. Yes. So this way you can actually do the other statistics as well, which we cover generally in the advanced levels, master black belt levels. See, you would be knowing almost 50-60% of this already. Remaining 30-40% also you can learn from there. Clear, everybody? Just give me a thumbs up or yes in the chat box, so that let me go to the next level. Just give me a yes quickly. Hack अच्छा लगा? Very good, very good, super. Thank you very much. All right, chalo. So let's move forward. in the measure phase, one of a very important factor is called as a measurement system analysis, MSA. How many of you are aware of MSA? Just give me yes in the chat box. MSA सबको पता है? Now guys, this is a black belt hackathon, first of all. Okay, if you are very new in the system, you may not be aware of this, but if you are consistently attending the live sessions, okay, Saturday and Monday live sessions, you would have definitely heard about MSA. Just give me yes in the chat box. MSA means gauge R&R and AAA, if you remember. How many of you remember this? Just give me yes. GRR, AAA. Ha, basics, you know. Very good, very good. Super. That is the basic fundamental. As I said, no? I always give this example of okay, I've not shared my screen with you. Right. Interesting. Let me just do it once again. Okay, my screen is not visible to me only. Okay, now it is visible. All right, so here we go. Coming back to MSA basic. What is MSA? Measurement system analysis, which is nothing but to quantify variation induced by measurement system. So MSA's objective is to quantify the variation induced because of the measurement system. Now, what is measurement system variation? Let's try to understand this. I give this example, very simple example. Let's say you use weighing scale. Yesterday only I think I've given yesterday or day before. You use the weighing scale at your home. You have a weighing scale at your gym. You have a weighing scale at your let's say office. You have a weighing scale. Now, if you weigh yourself, you might not get the exact same reading everywhere, right? There is a variation. Okay, even if you back to back weigh yourself, you know, while living from your home, just weigh yourself. Go to office, weigh yourself. If you have the gym in the office itself, you can weigh yourself over there, and you will find surprisingly the weight is a little different because of the measurement system variation. Are you understanding? See, what is the ultimate purpose of Six Sigma? That we are reducing the variation. So there is a specification limit like this, upper and lower specification, right? Lower specification and upper specification limit. And we have a process flowing like this, correct? So what is our objective? Because anything which goes beyond specification is a defect, correct? So in Six Sigma, what is our objective? To reduce the variation, correct? That is what we do. So one of the variation is because of the measurement system itself. So how much variation is coming because of measurement system? To quantify that, we use MSA. Everybody got the basic idea of MSA now? Just give me yes in the chat box. Your basic idea. So there is a variation induced as well. Measurement system also induce variation. It can be because of the man. It can be because of the instrument error, right? It can be because of lack of calibration. And there are so many factors, which are basically responsible. So our objective is to first quantify the variation. If it is within the measurable range, then we accept it. If it is not within the acceptable range, then we reject it. Then we have to redo the calibration, training, coaching, etc., and do the MSA once again. Clear? Just give me yes in the chat box. In our fishbone analysis as well, we have man, machine, method, material, mother nature, and there is a measurement as well. So what is that measurement column? In that measurement column, whatever variation, whatever reasons are there due to measurement system, all will get listed. So MSA basically takes care of that. Just give me yes in the chat box if the basics are clear. I'm talking about a master. I'm talking about a black belt level. Yeah. So now in MSA, there are two parts. If you have continuous data, then we go for gauge R and R, gauge R and R. And if we have discrete data, then we go for attribute agreement analysis, AAA. Right? So gauge R and R for the continuous data and attribute agreement analysis for the discrete data, right? So we have seen the basics of MSA in green belt level. All right. Now this is the time for us to, go for the next level, how practically MSA is performed. Okay. So first we will do how the gauge R and R, which is gauge repeatability and reproducibility, the worksheet is prepared. Okay, before we conduct the MSA, before we conduct GRR, gauge R&R, how do we basically prepare the worksheet? That is what we are going to learn. So can you just open again a blank Minitab file? First, we will see how we can prepare. Okay, or the same Minitab file also you can open. All right. Let me also open the same Minitab file. All right. Once you opened it, let me know in the chat. You have opened it. Now we will see how you can prepare the worksheet for Gauge R&R. Just give me yes in the chat box once you are ready. Meanwhile, for the people, what is gauge repeatability? Repeatability and reproducibility. Now, this is very interesting. Now, imagine I want to measure, let's say, diameter of the pen. Okay. So what I will do, I will take a vernier caliper to measure the diameter, let's say. Okay. So what we will do, repeatability meaning, I will take the same sample, the same pen I will take, same sample, plus the same vernier caliper I will use, same equipment, I can say. EQP meaning equipment, it's a short form I'm writing. And the same person. That means if I take this pen with the vernier caliper, I measure this, let's say 3 times. And all the 3 times I am repeating the same reading. Let's say 10.1, 10.1, 10.1. That is called as repeatability. Ability to repeat the reading, called repeatability. Are you understanding? Now, the same sample, the same pen is given to a different person with the same equipment, but the same measurement system, which is equipment, is given to different person. Let's say Dhiresh has measured. Now I gave this pen and equipment to Suresh, let's say, for example. Now Suresh also measures 10.1 only. That means we are reproducible. That means we are reproducing each other's result exactly, accurately. That is called a reproducibility. So gauge repeatability and reproducibility meaning ability of the same person to repeat the readings, called repeatability. Reproducibility meaning ability of different persons to produce the same result. It's called reproducibility. And how do we remember this? I gave you the clue last time, if you remember. Reproducibility requires, so let's say our human beings, right? Baby wala example, very good. So to reproduce a baby, we need two people, a male and a female. Yes or no? Correct? A single person cannot, as at least human being or mammals, we cannot do this. As a single person, we cannot do this. See, the microorganisms like amoeba, etc., can do it, but we cannot. We need one male, one female to reproduce a baby. So we need two different people to reproduce. That means reproducibility, remember different people. Repeatability, same person, repeating the same result. Reproducibility, different people repeating the same result. Clear, everybody? So gauge repeatability, reproducibility clear hai? Just give me yes in the chat box. And have you opened the file, the Minitab file, any blank Minitab file or the same Minitab file also you can open. Just give me quick yes. For the people who are not aware of these concepts, clear? Very good. Once you know this, okay, let's go to chocolate wet file also is okay. Anyways, we are going to use generate a new one. Okay, so go to stat, quality tools, case study, create GRR worksheet. Now just follow the steps. Go to stat, go to quality tools, case study, create GRR worksheet. GRR meaning gauge repeatability and reproducibility. Now we are practically, see, in the green belt level, we were just, having some theoretical knowledge. In the black belt level, now we are generating the worksheet. We will feed the data, we'll analyze the data. So all this practical stuff also we'll do. Stat, quality tools, case study, create GRR study worksheet. Once you click on that, okay, now this is very interesting. According to AIAG, what is AIAG? Which is AIAG, it's called as Automotive Industry Action Group, which is it's a global group basically formed by American automotive companies. Okay, so they publish the gauge R&R what you can say standards. Okay, so according to them, at least take minimum 10 samples. You have to take minimum 10 samples. Let's say pen. So take 10 different pens. Okay, then you take 3 people to check, 3 quality control people, and every person has to check or has to take 3 trials at least. That means, let's say, for example, if I take the pen and I will measure the diameter of the pen, and I will not measure it only once. I will take 3 trials, 3 measurements at different times. Okay, it's a randomized runs. All right. So then I will take second pen. I will do it again 3 times. Then I will take third pen. So similarly, I will complete the 10 samples, and the same will be done by, let's say, another person, Suresh, and same will be done by, let's say, Shruti. Okay. So all 3 of us will generate the data. So 10 into 3 into 3. So total, we will have 90 data points. And that's what is coming here. So here you can see number of parts. Number of parts 10. Can you see here? Number of parts 10. It is basically 10 samples. Okay. Number of operators, that means number of people are 3. Now you can just, by using the up and down button, you can change the number. Okay. So there are 3 people and 3 trials. Here replicate meaning the trials. Okay. So here it is showing 2 only, so that we have to convert it to 3. Okay. So number of replicates is trial. Operators are the people or appraisers basically. And number of parts is nothing but the sample. Okay. Clear, everybody? So once you feel that, now you can give, let's say, for example, you can give the name to the operator. For example, let's say Let's give Nilesh, Suresh, Shruti. All right. So these are the three people and number of replicates are 3. All right. So 10 parts, which are 10 pens, 10 people, 3 people, which is Nilesh, Suresh, Shruti, and number of replicates 3. Once we have done that, okay, go to option ek bar dekh lo. Yeah. As of now, let's do one thing. As of now, for our simple understanding, see, ideally you have to randomize it. Randomize meaning what? When you do gauge R&R study, first, let's say the first pen is given to me, right? Now there will not be second pen coming to me. Maybe 7th pen will come to me. Then 3rd pen will come to me. Then 4th pen will come to me. Then 10th pen will. So there will be variation. There will be randomized variation. Just to eliminate the bias. Okay. So, and I would not be knowing the number of the pen. My role is only just to, once the pen comes in front of me, I have to just measure the diameter and write the diameter. That's it. That is my rule. Okay. So what we will do as of now, just put do not randomize. Okay. As of now, randomize nahi karte, just for our understanding. Okay. And click on OK. And click on OK. Now, if you see, there would be a worksheet got generated. Everybody got it? Just give me yes in the chat box. Yeah, if you do not randomize it, this kind of a worksheet will get created. If you directly click on OK, there will be some randomized numbers which will come. Clear? Everybody just give me yes. Can you just give me a confirmation that you've got this? Very good, very good. Super. Now just try to understand. Just try to understand here. Because it is not randomized, the pattern is similar, right? Nilesh, Suresh, Shruti. Then, so the first part is given to them, 3 of them. Okay, then the second part. Again, Nilesh, Suresh, Shruti. Then come the third part. Nilesh, Suresh, Shruti, and this will continue till the complete 90 data points. Now, what we need to do, we need to take the take the printout of this. We need to copy this and paste it in the Excel sheet. Take a printout of the Excel sheet, and here you can write the the result basically. Okay, let's say diameter. No, you are measuring diameter, right? So here you will write the diameter. So I'm just writing the practical stuff. Okay. So here in the next column, you can put the result or the diameters. And then you can feed the data in the Minitab software just to analyze it. Clear, everybody? Just give me yes in the chat box. Clear hai? So you create a worksheet like this, take a printout and actually perform the measurement diameter. Okay. And once you actually performed it, collect the data and feed the data in the next column. Then you go for the exactly. Now, how do we randomize it? Let's create it randomized one. Just press Control E. Just press Control E. It will, it will come back to this. Once you press Control E, go to option. Now let's randomize it. Okay. So randomize all runs. If I do randomize all runs, if I click on that, right? Now, here is an interesting part. Here is an interesting part. Once you click on randomize all runs, okay, ये भी एक बार करके देखते हैं. Randomize all runs. There is an option called base for random data generator. So there is an algorithm fit into this. Let's say if I press 1111, okay, it is a special code. Okay, you can put anything, but right now can you just click on randomize all runs and base may just type 1111. Everybody, can you just do that? If you have given Nilesh, Suresh, and Shruti, okay, you will understand this. Okay, just click on randomize all runs and base may just give 1111, 4 times 1. Okay, and click on OK and click on OK. Okay, go to the worksheet. Now the parts are randomized. The parts are randomized, and if you have given the algo code 1111, you would see the same pattern getting repeated in your laptop as well. You would see Suresh first, Shruti second, Nilesh third, then Shruti, Nilesh, Shruti, etc. How many of you got it? Just give me yes in the chat. If you have given the same names, the same pattern will come. If other names are there, the names will be different, but the pattern will remain same. How many of you got it? Just type yes in the chat box. If you want to create now, let's say for example, there are multiple people in the project. Okay, so you can set one common random generator number, and all of them can generate the same pattern data, same pattern worksheet, and then you can perform the actual task and collect the result. So here you have to collect the diameter. The other procedure will remain same. Okay, so 10.2, 10.3, whatever it is, 10.1, etc. So you will collect the data accordingly. Clear, everybody? Just give me yes in the chat box. Clear hai? Just give me yes. So if you put 1252, then other people also should take 1252 as a random data generator number. Okay, then the pattern will be same. So every number, every associate number, the same algorithm code has been designed. Okay, so it is associated pattern. So if 1111, if everybody put 1111, everybody's pattern will be same. If everybody put 2222, the pattern will be same. Okay, so if you are putting something different, your pattern will be different. Clear? So have you understood how to create the worksheet, how to create a randomized pattern and perform the gauge R&R study? Just give me yes. Done? Very good. Now, once we've done that, now let me just share one file with you guys. Because we don't have the data here. Okay, let me just share a file with you. Okay, similar kind of a file is there where already data is already filled up. Okay, can you just download this file and we will perform the analysis. Yeah, why do we use randomized pattern is because of to eliminate the bias. Example, let's take an example. If I do not randomize it and I give the same pen to, let's say, Suresh. Suresh, measure the pen 3 times. Now there is high chance that Suresh will measure it only once and write the same reading for the next 2 times. Yes or no? See, our human tendency is just to reduce the workload, right? Just to reduce the what you can say, the efforts. So that's where the bias comes into picture. If he is just assuming, then we are not getting our actually variation. What we are actually expecting while measuring how much variation Suresh is making, that is what we are expecting, right? If Suresh gives right 10.1, 10.1, 10.1 without actually measuring it, because he, there is no randomized number given. So that kind of bias we have to remove. Okay, that's why we have to randomize it. Yeah, thank you. Now, okay, opened. Everybody, have you opened this file? Just give me yes in the chat. Hmm. So instead of Suresh and Nilesh, we have Yogesh and Manish. There is another guy. Vijay. Okay, Vijay. Chalo. Once you opened it, let me know. So here, similar kind of a file has been given where there are operators Vijay, Yogesh, and Manish, and we have 90 data points. Just like they have taken their time meter reading over here. Yes, have you opened this file? Just give me yes. Now, after getting the reading, how do you analyze the data? After getting this reading, how do you analyze the data? That is what we are going to learn. So wherever you have the continuous data, you follow this procedure. Whenever we have discrete data, we have another procedure to follow. Done. Once you opened it, let's go to stat, quality tools, gauge study. So wherever you want to do this gauge R&R study, this is the only option. Stat, quality tools, gauge study. And in the gauge study, because we have already created the worksheet, now we want to analyze the worksheet, right? So here there are actually three options. Okay. Crossed, nested, and expanded. Just try to understand this. Actually, we have to select the crossed, but let's see the logic behind it. Crossed meaning what? Crossed meaning, for example, let's say there are three people, right? 1, 2, 3. And there are 10 samples like this. Example, there are 10 samples. So everybody is basically measuring, for every sample, correct? So you can see there is a cross section happening. Okay, everybody is measuring every sample. That's why it is called cross. So this is called crossed. Okay, there is something called expanded. What is expanded? Now, for example, there are certain certain test which destroys the sample itself. I repeat again. There are certain tests which destroys the sample. So once the sample is checked, that sample cannot be checked once again. And that's why it is called expanded. So every time a different sample will be checked. For example, if some mechanical engineers can easily relate to it, there is something called tensile strength. Tensile strength check. Okay. If you are from the industry, in tensile strength, what basically we do, there is a the object which is subjected to a pull force. Okay, let's say this is a clamp, and this object is a metal object, which is then this is pulled in both the direction, and at one point in time this breaks. Okay, this breaks in between, and at what force that basically breaks, that is called as that tensile strength of that. Okay, so because the article that basically that sample is basically getting destroyed, okay, it's called destructive testing. There is something called non-destructive testing, NDT, and this is called DT, destructive testing, where you destroy the sample itself. All right, so in this case we use expanded because every time the sample is different, the same sample cannot be used. Okay, that's where we use expanded. And the third one is, nested, not expanded, sorry. So that's my mistake. So crossed is the one we are going to use. Nested is the one which is used for the destructive sample. So one person, so it looks like this. Every person will use this sample differently. Different samples will be used. That's what it's called as a nest. And The next one is called expanded, where more than two factors you are basically checking. For example, Suresh checking the reading during the daylight. So we have added another angle to it. So Suresh checking the diameter in the daylight, Suresh checking the diameter in the what you can say. So natural light and artificial light. So what is the impact on the reading? That is called expanded gauge ananda. Clear? So crossed is where the normal, whatever we have done, that is called cross. Nested meaning if you are destroying the sample, then you go for nested. Expanded meaning if you have another factor as well, another angle as well, then you go for expanded. Clear? Just give me yes in the chat box. So these are the three options available. I'll show you all the three options here. Quality tools, gauge study. See, cross, nested, and expanded. Okay. So you can see here, you can just, once you click on that, expanded में क्या लिखा है? Assess the variation in your measurement system when it is affected by factors in addition to the part and operator. Operator meaning the person who is measuring, part meaning whatever is the sample you are taking, right? So if addition factors such as temperature or location. So Suresh measuring in the high temperature, Suresh measuring in the low temperature, Suresh measuring outside of the room, Suresh measuring inside of the room. So all these are factors when we are using that, it's called expanded. But right now, let's select a crossed one. Okay. Now in the crossed, you can see in the part number, select sample. In operator, select operator, and the measurement data is in size mm. Just select that. And method of variance, it is just select X bar R. You can select ANOVA as well. Both our options are available. Let's go for X bar R right now. And just click on OK. Now first this graph will come. Everybody got this graph? Just give me yes in the chat box. Yes, done. Anybody behind, please let me know. See, if you know the basics, that will be very easy for you to perform. Okay. If you are very new in the system, first time you're attending this, seems a little heavier, but still go through this phase. Okay. Even if you have not understood 100%, it's okay. Even if you have understood 10%, 20, 30%, when you will come to the black belt level, you will definitely understand whatever we are discussing. Then the dots will get connected automatically. So don't give up. Done, everybody. So here, let's understand the this graph. Let's understand this graph so that we can understand it. Okay. For first, whenever we have part to part variation, and this is GRR. Just try to understand on this, focus on these two areas only. Okay. What is part to part? Part to part meaning, imagine this. Let's say these are the 10 different parts or different pens. Let's say diameter we are measuring. Imagine these are 10 pens. Okay. Naturally also there will be variation. Yes or no, everybody? Naturally also there will be variation in the diameter. Yes or no? Correct. There will be natural variation because variation is the nature of nature. Variation will always be there. Correct? And that is called as part to part variation. Every part meaning this is called a part, this is called a part, this is called a part. Every sample is a part. So within part to part also there will be variation, which is a natural process. And what is gauge R&R? Gauge R&R is the variation induced because of the measurement system. Measurement में कितना variation induce किया है? Now, ideally speaking, your part to part graphs, the bars, should be taller than gauge R&R. If this would have been the other way around, your gauge R&R bars are like this, and part to part are, like this, then that system has to be rejected. That means your measurement variation is very high than the natural actual variation. So part to part is actual variation and GRR is the measurement variation. Are you clear? Just give me yes in the chat box. Just try to understand the concept. Clear hai? Just give me yes. Super clear? See, थोड़ा सा heavy हो जाता है कभी कभी, but I'm just trying to do it or explain it to you in a very simplistic manner. Okay, and once you do it, twice you do it, thrice you do it, you'll understand the concept. Okay, एक बार ही आपको करना है. Clear? Then comes the control chart. So this control chart is a little different control chart than our regular control chart. Okay. So in our regular control chart, understand this. What is different? So ye wala chart different, this one. X bar chart is different. So in our regular control chart, what happens is, our process flows within the control limit. So this is my upper control limit and this is my lower control limit. If the process is flowing within the control limits, then it is called as a stable process. Correct? We have all seen that. When it is flowing through this, that is called stable process. But here, it is exactly opposite. Okay, the control limits are calculated a little differently and they are very close with each other like this. Okay, and more data outside of the control limits are good. Like this, for example. Okay, you can see here X bar chart by operator. Because the control limit formula are differently calculated, we want more data to be outside of the control limit. So jitna zyada data control limit ke bahar hoga, that is a sign of a good mechanism, a good measurement system. Okay, it is exactly opposite than our traditional control chart. So remember only this. This one, the R chart, which is the range chart, is exactly the same. But X bar chart has this change. Okay, remember this always. In this gauge R&R study, your X bar chart has to be exactly opposite to our regular stability check. Getting this? Just give me yes in the chat box. Everybody. Any kind of doubt, please let me know in the chat. Okay. See, what is this R range chart? Kya hai ye? What is this R chart? Just try to understand this. So if you see Manish, okay. So Manish's 10 samples are there. Every sample Manish had checked how many times? Type in the chat box. Every sample Manish has checked how many times? 3 times. Correct? Absolutely right. 3 times. So let's say, for example, Manish has readings like 10.0, 10.0, 10.2, let's say, for example. So what is the range? Maximum minus minimum, right? So 10.2 minus 10.0 is equal to 0.2 is the range. So here in the range chart, for the first sample, 0.2 will be plotted. So this will be that dot. Okay. Then for the second sample, what is the range? Of the 3 readings that will be plotted. So this will be actually same. So now you can see this spot, Vijay's second last reading, has got some challenge because it has gone up above the upper control limit. So this has to be investigated. There has to be some recording error over there. Okay, so ये indicate करता है. Coming back to this X bar chart, as I mentioned, majority of the data should be more than more or less or outside of the control limits. Okay, that is the good system. Okay, that much you should be able to understand. And then this is the box plot. Yesterday only we have seen the box plot. So you can see the comparison. There is no much difference between these three. Yogesh has got some less variation. Vijay has got some a little more variation. That might be because of this data point. Okay. So once this is done, then we will go for the statistical. This is a graphical representation. We'll go for the statistical data. Then click over here. This is the statistical window. If you click on that statistical window, just scroll up. So you will get this, all the statistics calculated for you. Okay. Now what we are interested in, only three parts here. What are the three parts? Number one, this is called contribution. This contribution percentage of this total gauge R&R, this should be less than 10. That means out of this total variation, the contribution of measurement system is only 2.36%, which is well below the 10% mark. Okay, so this is the first one. Second is the tolerance. What is tolerance? Against the specification limits, what is the performance? This also should be less than 10%. See, acceptance criteria is like this. 0 to 10% is the best system. Okay. 10 to 30% still acceptable. 30% and above, you can reject. You can reject the system. Okay. So here also it is less than 10%. So we accept it. And there is something called NDC. You can see here number of distinct categories. Okay, this should be greater than 5, greater than or equal to 5. Then you can accept it. Okay, what is NDC? Number of distinct categories, just for our understanding. Number of distinct categories are, what is your minimum number of categories you can measure with the help of this. For example, let's say if I have a system where only I am measuring high and low. Okay. If I am only measuring high and low, the number of distinct categories 2. NDC is 2. Okay. If I am measuring high, medium, and low, the number of distinct categories are 3. If I am measuring very high, medium, low, and very low, then number of distinct categories are 5. So at least 5 distinct categories. It is just like you can compare with least count. What is the least count of the system? Okay. So number of distinct categories basically are similar to that. So it should be equal to or greater than 5. Then you can accept this. Okay. So 10%, below 10%, and more than 5%. If this is there, then you accept the gauge R&R. Then you can collect the data from the system, and that will become the reliable data. So there is limited amount of variation induced by the measurement system. Clear? So these are the 3 major parts you have to check in the GRR analysis. Just type yes in the chat box if you have understood this. Super clear hai? Give me yes, no. See, initially it looks a little difficult initial phases mein, but as you practice it once, twice, thrice, you can use your own data. Okay, practice it in minute time. That will be help. Okay. Clear hai? Super. So what we'll do, we will just take a quick break for 10 minutes. Okay, it is 8:22 right now. We'll be back by 8:32. Okay, एक बार चाय कॉफी ले लेते हैं, थोड़ा सा ब्रेक ले लेते हैं, बायो ब्रेक ले लेते हैं, and then we'll be back by 8:32. Okay, Today's session will be around 9:30 के पहले ही हो जाएगा complete. Yeah. So generally, it is between 7 to 9:30. Generally, 7 to 9:30. Yeah, it depends on the question, answer, etc. All right, chalo. Let's take a quick break of 10 minutes. We'll be back exactly at 8:32. Once you are back, just type "I am back" on my seat. Okay. Super. So I'm just stopping this. All right. If you're back on your seat, just let me know that. Just type yes, you are back, so that we can start the next part of it. Done, everybody? Yeah, I've got a few confirmation. Thank you very much. I'm waiting for the others to confirm as well. Good, 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 good. Okay, chalo. So let's begin. So let me share a file on AAA as well. Recently, we had taken a session on this, but let me quickly repeat that. We'll not spend much time. How many of you were present in that attribute agreement analysis wala file, wala session? AAA wala session? Just give me in the chat box. Okay, very good. I think most of you were there. The people who are there in the room right now, most of you were there in that session. Okay, can you just open this file of attribute agreement analysis. Now, when we have continuous data, we have gauge R&R. If we have attribute data or discrete data, we'll go for attribute agreement analysis, right? So what is attribute agreement analysis? Whenever we have the data which is yes, no, pass, fail, accept, reject, like that, then we go for attribute agreement analysis data. Okay. Now, this must be the data you would be having with you. Once you open this file, please let me know the file opened, so we'll quickly run through this attribute agreement analysis data. So here, for the people who were not there, imagine there is so coming back to the basics once again, MSA, if you remember, gauge R&R and AAA, right? So we are talking about this part now, okay? So imagine there is there is a bank where 10 loan applications have been filed, okay? And there are 3 credit managers. The credit manager's role is to check the entire file, entire document, the credit history of the person, and approve the loan or disapprove. So yes meaning approve the file, no meaning reject the file. All right. So you can see here there are officer A. So these are the 3 columns of officer A. Then these are the 3 columns of officer B. And these are the 3 columns of officer C, let's say. Okay. So first we will calculate the repeatability and reproducibility. If somebody remembers this, repeatability is if you are repeating the same reading again and again. Okay. For example, let's say officer A, for the first file, this row, he is rejecting the file. No, no, no. So randomly the file has been given to him. And all the 3 times the person has rejected the file. Okay. That means he is repeatable, right? For the second file, if you observe, he's saying yes, yes, and yes. So for the second file also is repeatable. So similarly, if you observe this, no, 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 yes, 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 etc., you will see 100% repeatability for officer A. If you see for officer B, there is something called 90% repeatability, because we have already done that couple of sessions before. And for the C, there is 80% repeatability. Okay. For officer B, I think the last file where he's saying yes, yes, and no. So there is where there is one failure of repeatability. And for officer C, I think there is, the second option, this one, where he's saying yes first time and then he's saying no, no the second time. So this is the first failure, and the second last file, the 9th file. Again, the same thing, is first saying yes and then he's saying no, no. Okay. So these are the 2 failures. Rest are right. So 80% repeatability. So this is called as repeatability. So you can manually calculate repeatability as well. Everybody clear with the repeatability? Just give me yes in the chat box. So we have just counted how many times they have given the same reading. Okay. क्लियर है? A 100, B 90 and C 80% repeatability. Clear everybody? Just give me yes in the chat box. Super clear with this repeatability part. Now let's come to reproducibility part. What is reproducibility? Reproducibility is nothing but, how remember, reproducibility requires multiple people, okay, different people. So if all of them are saying the same thing, that it's called as reproducibility. For example, officer is saying no, no, no. B is saying no, no, no. C also is saying no, no, no. That is called reproducibility. So the first one is right. So all is reproducible. Even one is not matching, that is not reproducible. Understand this? Even one reading out of all these 9 readings, even one is not matching, that is called as not reproducible. For example, let's look at the second one. So second one, here they are failed, right? So the second one has failed. Let's talk about the third one, also has failed. Fourth one is okay. The fifth one is okay. The sixth one is okay. The seventh one is also okay. Eighth also okay. And ninth and 10th are failed because there is a variation in the readings. Clear? So we can easily say there is a 60% reproducibility. Everybody clear about reproducibility now? Repeatability is for that individual person. Reproducibility is across all the people together. So out of 10 readings, out of 10 samples, 60% of the times they were reproducible, 40% time they were not reproducible. This is how manually you can calculate repeatability, reproducibility over here. Just give me yes in the chat box. Clear है ये? यहाँ तक clear है? Yes, no doubt on this. Now let's go back to how do we analyze? Just like we have the value called GRR value. Here we have the kappa value. So how do we calculate the kappa value? Go to stat, quality tools, attribute agreement analysis. You can just see here. Just below the gate study, there is first the create attribute worksheet. Just like our GRR's worksheet, you can create a worksheet, feed the data, and you can do the analysis. Let's click on analysis first. Now, because we have multiple columns data, okay, we'll select multiple columns. Click here. Now understand this. We have to select all the columns in this. So how do we do that? Click on Officer A, Trial 1. Let me repeat once again. Go to Stat, Quality Tools, Attribute Agreement Analysis. Click on that. Click on multiple columns. Just click on this box, inside the box. Then all the columns will get reflected. Then you just click on this column 2, Officer A, Trial 1. Click on Shift and Officer C, Trial 3. So all the columns will get selected and click on Select button. Okay. This way all the columns will get selected. Number of appraisals are 3. Number of trials are 3, right? So 3 appraisals, appraisal meaning the people, and 3 trials. Everybody is doing the reading 3 times, right? Appraisal name, you can see A, then space B, space C. Okay, A, B, and C are the names of the people. What is the known standard, which is truth? So double click on the truth and click on OK. So you will get this graph. This graph shows this is within appraisal, meaning which is nothing but repeatability. Yeah, how to bring the multiple column? Just click on C2, Maheshji. Just click on C2, that line will get selected. Press Shift and then click on the operator C and reading 3, whatever, trial 3. So all the columns will get selected. Okay, done. And then click on Select. It will get transferred to this way. Okay, yeah, good. So repeatability may, you can see the first one, 100%, second one 90%, third one 80%. We have already manually calculated it. Okay. What is this appraisal versus standard? There is a last column called truth. Truth is nothing but the standard. Now, what is truth? Truth is, now these three are the credit manager, right? That truth is the head of that credit department, who is the senior most person, who will take a final call whether to give the loan to the file or not. That is called truth. So what is the performance of these people against the standard? That is called appraiser versus standard. So here you can see 100% accuracy for the first person, 80% for the second and third person. So 180 and 80. So the first person is repeatable and accurate both. Second and third person requires a little bit of more polishing. Small polishing is required. Here, this is just a simple graph. Clear with this? Just give me yes in the chat box. Because you have not selected the truth. For example, if you go back, okay, if you go back on this, here is the truth I have selected, known standard. If you don't select this, then you will not get the graph on the right hand side. Let's remove this and say okay. So I will only see this graph. If I go back and select the truth, double click on the truth and say okay, I will see both the graphs. Clear, Maheshji? Super. Okay. Now let's go back to the statistics data where we are observing the kappa value. Okay. Now, for the people who are interested more into this, we have taken a special session on how to calculate kappa manually, Kappa. Okay. So we have taken a special session on this. So please check out that session, which would be available in the masterclass archive. I think just last week or last week we have taken this session. Okay, so what we are expected, just once you click here, just see this value called kappa value. Okay, right now this kappa value is which is 0.78. Okay, now here also, if it is between 0.9, so between 1 to 0.9, this is the best kappa value you can have. Okay. Between 0.9 to 0.6, you can still accept it. And below 0.6, you can basically reject it. Okay. So this is 0.78, very much within the acceptable range. So this measurement system, we can still accept it. Okay. Now, how do we calculate kappa? What is the formula to calculate kappa? Please check out that that session, which is there in the masterclass archive. If you go to masterclass archive and just go in the search menu and type kappa, Kappa calculation, you will find the session. Okay. How many of you were there in the kappa calculation wala session, which was recently taken? I think 7-8 दिन भी हुए नहीं होगा, 10 दिन हुए होंगे, the maximum. How many of you were there in that session? Kappa calculation, manual calculation we had done. I had given you the formulas to calculate as well. Yes? Yes. See, anyways, we don't have to do it manually anytime. Okay, but at least just for your knowledge. Okay, that should be there. That's why that session was taken. 27th ko clear tha, 27/9 ko. Very good. Yeah, so I think 10 days ago. Very good. Thank you very much. Super. So this is called Gauge R&R and AAA. Clear? Just give me yes in the chat box. Okay. So I would highly recommend, if you're interested, please go and check out that session. Very interesting session. You'll find a lot of statistical analysis being done there. Okay. Now let's go to something called, if we come across a non-normal data. Okay, then how do we go about it? So let me share one file with you. Just a second. I'm just sharing a file. Let's open this file. Now, we have seen the central limit theorem in the beginning of the session, right? Sometimes we have non-normal data as well. Now, how do we deal with that non-normal data? Yeah, Pavanji, you can just put that in the chat. Any question you have? Just type the question quickly so that I will answer that. Okay. Yeah, once you open this file, please let me know. The file's name is log transformation. See, we have seen the Anderson-Darling normalized. Okay, erroneously pressed. No problem. No, it's okay. So मैं भी फाइल ओपन करता हूं मेरे यहाँ पे. Let me first close all this file. There are a lot of files getting opened here. Okay, so once you opened it, please let me know. So whatever files we are basically using here, all will be kept in the masterclass archive folder, okay, which you can refer later as well, okay? Yeah, so in the log transformation file, what is there? There is a column, okay, of time. There's a column of time. So there is a pathology lab, okay, there is a pathology lab, and in the pathology column number 2, C2 column, okay. So we have got a data of how many minutes every test has basically taken. Okay. Now understand this. Whenever you come across, this is very important insight I'm sharing with you. Whenever you come across time-related data. Now, what is time-related data? Now, try to understand this. Turnaround time or delivery time, cycle time, okay, downtime. Whenever a time associated data is there, majority of the time, I'm not claiming 100% of the time, but majority of the time, you will find non-normal data or skewed, just like this. Time-related data. Okay, you might find this kind of a behavior. Okay, let's see this. Let's do this column number, what you can say, C2. Okay, what we'll do, we will do the graphical analysis of it quickly. Go to basic statistics, do the graphical summary, and select the time column. Okay, and click on OK. Now, if you observe this, this data, it's showing a little bit of skewness here. Can you see? This is right hand skewed data. Can you see here? Correct, right hand skewed hai. That's why skewness number is also positive. Can you see here? If this would have been like this data, this skewness number would have been negative. Okay, we were just discussing about skewness and kurtosis, correct? So positive 2.04 is indicating it is right hand skewed. जहां पे भी इसका tail extend होता है, now this tail is extended on the right hand side, no, like this. So that is called right hand skew. If the tail is extended on the left hand side, that is called left hand skew. Clear? Super. Now here is, so see, histogram is also basically talking about the skewness, and here Anderson-Darling normality test is confirming the p-value is less than 0.05, which is indicating non-normal data. Now, what do we do in this case? The very first thing what we do is we increase the sample size. Right now, the sample size is 100. Okay, we might take another 100 data points or 50 data points just to check, is there any change in the distribution? If no, then we have to go for the transformation. Okay, data transformation. Why? Because, see, understand this. If it is a skewed distribution, we will see what is normal distribution. Try to understand this. Normal distribution is a symmetrical distribution. Okay. So there is an assumption that mean, mode, median are in the center, and both sides, the area under the curve, this one, okay, this area, whatever calculation we are doing, now this calculation, what is that? Inferential statistics. Remember inferential statistics. So this all inferential statistical calculations are based on this area under curve. But if the data is non-normal, then this will be like this. So the area under curve will be completely different than the normal distribution. So our calculation can go haywire, our inferential statistic calculation. So whenever we come across non-normal, we try to convert that data into normal distributed data. And this process is called as transformation. Transformation. How do we do that? Let me show you. So what in this case, what we do, go for stat. Okay. Call it control charts. There is something called Box-Cox transformation. Can you just check that? Stat control chart Box-Cox transformation. So Box-Cox transformation is a transformation we do whenever we come across a non-normal data. Even after increasing sample size also, we are not getting the result. So we'll go for Box-Cox transformation. Now here, yeah, in one column, just select time, double click on time. Subgroup size, just type 1. Don't do anything. Time and 1. ऑप्शन में क्या है देखते हैं. नहीं, कोई जरूरत नहीं है. Just click on OK. And this will come. Once you got it, just let me know in the chat. Everybody got this? Just give me yes. Now you can see there is a value called lambda value, lambda. This is called lambda value. Now lambda value shows 0.00. The rounded value is 0.00. That means Box-Cox transformation shows the lambda value at 0. Now what do we do with this? Okay, let me share one table with you, which is already available in your black belt curriculum. Okay, this one. Look at this. So this shows the lambda value, this one is 0. Whenever the lambda value is 0, you go for the log transformation. Now, what is log transformation? Log transformation is when we take the log value of it. Now, you might be remembering the log tables we used to use during our college days. How many of you remember log tables? So what is log basically? Just try to understand this. Let me just explain you quickly. Just for the basic, let's say 10 raised to 1. Okay. So log of 10 is equal to 1 to the base 10. Okay. Let's say, so मैं थोड़ा सा simple करता हूं. So 10 raised to 1 is equal to 10, correct? So log of 10 is equal to 1. Just try to understand this. 10 raised to 2 is equal to 100. So log of 100 is equal to 2. 10 raised to 3 is equal to 1000. So log of 1000 is equal to 3. Are you understanding? So instead of 10, I will take 1. Instead of 100, I will take 2. This is how the log transformation happens. Clear hai? Yes, just see this. Just observe this pattern so you'll understand what I'm talking about here. Clear? Super clear hai? Just give me yes. So 10 raised to 1 is equal to 100. So log of 10 is equal to 1. Sorry, 10 raised to 2 is equal to 100. So log of 100 is equal to 2. Similarly, okay? So how do we do this transformation? Go to the Minitab file once again. Okay. Now here, go to calc and open the calculator. Go to calc and open the calculator. Okay. Now it is asking us store result in variable. So store result in variable. Where do I store the result? Let's say C5 column, which is blank. So because all the 4 columns are basically, so let me check. So we have all the 4 columns already filled. So I will write down the C5 column. So just type C5 column. Now the expression. Okay, now we want to write the expression because we want to do the logarithmic expression. So in the function column, just select the logarithm. Okay. Understand this, huh? First you write C5 here. Function may select logarithm. Now listen to me very carefully. Double click on log base 10. Double click on that. It will get selected. And double click on time. I repeat again. Okay. I've selected C5 column where the converted values will be kept in the C5 column. I select the function logarithm. I select log base 10, double click on that, and I double click on time and click on OK. The moment I click on OK, I have in the C5 column all the log converted data. Now, let's say, for example, for our simple understanding, let's say, see the row number 24. The original data was 100 and the log value is 2. Can you see here? Original data was 100. As I mentioned to you, 10 raised to 2 is equal to 100. So log of 100 is equal to 2. Clear hai? And all the values are in between. So let me give the name log here. Log. Okay. C5 column ko maine naam diya log. Everybody got it? Just type yes in the chat box. सबको समझ में आया है ये? Just give me yes. How do we convert this? Okay. Go to calculator में first select C5 column, select function में logarithm, double click on log base 10 and double click on time column. In bracket में वो time column select हो जाएगा and click on OK. You will get this. Now let's make histogram. Okay. Let's make histogram. Go to graph. Go to histogram with fit. Now you select the time column and you select the log column and click on OK. Can you see the difference now? Earlier, it was a skewed data. This one, you can see here. The data was skewed like this. Now it has been converted into normal distributed data like this. How many of you got it? Just type yes in the chat box. Now for this data, you can do the this one. Okay, the process capability analysis as well. Quickly, we'll do process capability analysis for this data. Okay, what is process capability analysis? Now for this data, we can put the specification limits. Okay, so we'll put the specification limit and we will see what is the process capability analysis. Okay, so let's do this. Imagine the specification. Now for what do you want me to repeat, Mahesh ji? Please let me know. वो calculator वाला part, calculation, histogram, same thing na, histogram, graph, histogram. Go to graph and click on histogram with fit. So always you get with fit. Without fit में वो normal distribution curve नहीं आएगा. Okay, and in that select both the columns. No, time column भी select करो, log column भी select करो. Time is the original data, log is the transformed data, right? And click on OK. So you will get both the both the graphs like this. So you can compare original graph and a converted graph. एक बार करके देखिए and give me the confirmation. Got it? Very good. Super. Now, coming back to this. Now, let's imagine for process capability analysis, we need specification limit, right? Specification limit. Who decides the specification limits? Type in the chat box. Who decides specification limits? Everybody type in the chat box. Who decides? Can we decide specification limit? Let's say we are the process owners. Can we decide? No. Customer decides. Very good. Always customer decides the specification limits, right? Okay. So as of now, let's say, for example, we will say that the specification limit is, let me see, if we have 100 and let's say 400. So let me check if we have 400 wala data so that we can take that value. Yes. Okay, 400 है और कितना था पहले 200 था क्या? 40 था, I think 40 लिया था. Okay. So let's take 400. That means customer will accept the reading between 40 minutes and let's say 400 minutes, just for our understanding. I'm just giving you very random numbers here. Okay. So what we will do, this is the original time, no? So we have to convert that into log time. Okay. So if you observe, 40 ka log time hai this one. 1.60206 and 400 ka log time hai. Let me check out that. 400 ka log time is, let me check whether we have the 400 value. I think that we have a 400 wala value. 2 point, yeah, right. 2.60206. This is the upper control limit, upper specification limit, sorry. Okay. Now let's do one thing. Let's go to stat quality tools, capability analysis, normal. Everybody follow this. Stat quality tools, capability analysis, normal. Click on that. In the single column, now you will select the log data because log data has been transformed data. Subgroup size, write 1. Lower specification is 1 point. Just copy this value 60206 and upper specification is 2.60206. So after decimal, the values are same exactly. Everybody fill this data 1.60206 and 2.60206, lower and upper specification limit. And then we'll go to option and we'll go for benchmark Z, where we will get direct values. Okay. And click on OK. And click on OK. Now you can see my current process capability Z value is 1.2. Okay. So my current process is 1.2 sigma process. Okay. So what is our objective? To reduce the variation and bring the process in the center and make this 1.2 into maybe 3 sigma or 4 sigma or 5 sigma. That's our objective. Clear? Just type yes in the chat box. Got it, everybody? So this is called transformation and process capability analysis all put together. मिला सबको ये values? So CPK is coming to 0.43. Z value is coming to 1.21. So still a lot of improvement can be done here. You can reduce the variation much and you can do this analysis again. Done? Clear? Are you guys learning main role done by log to bring it normal in this case? Yes, correct. Correct. Now it depends on Box-Cox transformation. Okay, let me tell you this. Okay, for example, so here let's look at this table. Okay, what we can do. So this lambda value, no, this lambda value is always between +5 to -5. Okay, this lambda value. Okay, now when it is 0, you do the log transformation. When it is 0.5, you do square root. That means instead of that value, you take the square root of that value. Instead of 4, you take 2. Instead of 100, you take 10. The square root. If it is 1, then you don't do any transformation. Okay, not required. If lambda value is 2, then you square it. If lambda value is 3, you take the cube of it. If lambda is 4, then you take raised to 4. If it is 5, you take raised to 5. Okay. Similarly, when you go down, when lambda value is -2, you take what? You take square root of this. Okay. Square root of this one. Reciprocal square root. Okay, no, sorry. When lambda value is 2, this is reciprocal. No, just a second. It is square. Okay. When lambda value is -3, you take reciprocal of cube. When lambda value is up to -5, you take reciprocal of 5, sorry, raised to 5. Like that. You can just go down and go up. Lambda is 0. So that's why when the lambda is 0, then we go for log transformation. No? So if you see here, whenever the lambda is 0, you go for the log value of that. So you will get the normal distribution like that. Okay. That's why lambda value we check, and accordingly we decide what kind of transformation we do. And this is called as yeah. वो जो लिया था ना lambda value यहाँ पे. If you go to the mini tab software and go to the graphs, you will check this one. So this is the rounded value lambda 0, right? So this lambda 0 is a log transformation. Clear? थोड़ा सा initial phases में heavy होता है, लेकिन once you repeat it again and again, it becomes easier. Okay. So what we'll do today, we have covered up to major phase today. Major phase we have covered. Tomorrow we will come and we will start our analysis phase. Okay. Today becoming a little heavy, so we'll stop here. I don't want you guys to get exhausted mentally as well. Okay. So what you need to do is just check this recording. We will share this recording in the community tab, the link. It will be available in Hackathon, Black Belt Hackathon folder. वहाँ पे आप access कर सकते हो. Okay, you can just increase the speed and just check out in 2x speed. And that will be helpful for you. Okay. So I wish you all the very best. Any question you have, you can just put it in the chat, or you can put it in our mentor's number anytime. We'll respond to that. And we'll again connect tomorrow at 7 p.m. sharp. And tomorrow we'll do the analysis phase. Okay, we'll do the advanced hypothesis, advanced regression, etc. All right. Examination is individually. If you're already a green belt certified person, if you have gone through the black belt course, concepts are clear, you are prepared, confident, you can go for the examination. Third day, I will give you, day after tomorrow, I will give you the details about examination. So you can plan your exam accordingly, and you can plan it individually. Okay. It requires 2 hours. Yes, 200 questions will be there. No, I think 100 questions. Sorry, 100 questions will be there. As for green belt, there are 50 questions. For black belt, there are 100 questions. Okay. 2 hours, 100 questions. MCQ type, open book, but a little advanced questions will be there than the green belt. Okay. All right, that's it from our side. Thank you very much. Keep learning, keep growing. We'll see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. sharp with hypothesis testing and advanced regression. Okay, will enjoy. And if possible, come with laptop and the Minute app. All right, that will be better if you can do it along with us. Okay. Thank you very much. Bye bye. Take care. Good night. See you tomorrow.